Hello and welcome to Steve's Software Shack. Today I'm going to check out Pre-Alpha 29 of Putter Island. This is really the Alpha 1 preview build. Rather than just explain some of the differences with this build compared to last, I'm just going to do a Let's Play today, so let's get into it. When we start a new game, we're just at our player house with no real objective. But tutorials begin to pop up as I move through the place. To look at a piece of cargo, or to grab a piece of cargo, look at it and press A. Notice the crosshair actually changes color to yellow when you're overlapping the piece of cargo, and we get this little display in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen which tells us about that cargo. When I grab the cargo, it gives me a bit more info about that shipping tag. Cargo that can be delivered will have a shipping tag. That tells me that that this piece of cargo is a medium-sized crate and that it is meant to go to the warehouse at Outpost Alpha, and it's part of the empty crate order. Now it's telling me to load the cargo into the box of my hover truck. Note that the mass and distribution of cargo in the box of the hover truck that is, will affect the hover truck's handling and performance. So if I dump a bunch of weight, say, into the left-hand side of the hover truck box like this, that's going to affect how I can turn. This crate isn't particularly heavy, but that is something you need to consider. Hover truck controls are pretty standard. Right trigger is the throttle, left trigger is the brake, left stick steers, and you can change gears with the bumpers. I am going for a bit more of a simulation feel here. You have to shift into drive and say shift into reverse if you want to reverse. It's not a matter of just holding down the left trigger until you can reverse. I'm working on making some more environmental obstacles. In this area you can see that we have all these rocks here which make it a bit of a challenge to drive around. It's not quite a matter of you going straight wherever you want thanks to all of these rocks in your way. Now where we're going is Warehouse Alpha. If you look at the mini map in the top left hand side corner of the screen, you can actually see that A marked on the map. If I were to open up the main menu, I'll get a little tutorial here telling me how to navigate the menu, and that the map tab shows you your destinations, the shipping tag gives you information about orders in progress, and that the trading tab gives me information about the various stores and their stock levels around the map. So if I open up the map, I can zoom in here and see Outpost Alpha. That tells me that that's that little red package sub-icon. That tells me that I have a package to deliver for that location. And it's automatically pinned to the map by virtue of me having an order for that destination. If I were to go over to the shipping tab, I can actually open up my orders in progress and see that order, empty crate. It has one piece of cargo, which is that medium crate. It's in 100% condition, and it's in transit. That condition can actually go down by damaging the cargo. Let's try to do that here by taking a bit of a risk. I flipped my vehicle and that cargo took a banging. Now it's 97%. Some of these values are probably going to be tweaked. I might want that to take a little bit more damage than it took there, but the calculations are all in. It just needs a bit of tweaking. That's why it's an alpha. Now this hover truck can drive just about anywhere. You saw me taking it off-road, but on the road, it's even better. It's going a little fast there, but that's part of the fun. You can actually upgrade the truck. You can buy increased main thrusters, hover thrusters, and turn thrusters, all of which will improve the performance of the vehicle. Now that I'm at Warehouse Alpha, I can make that delivery. All trading and shipping is done through the trading and shipping terminal. To make a delivery, you have to put the cargo in the same room as the terminal. I'll give you a tip here. You don't have to take it out of your truck if you can get your truck in the room, as you can see with this big warehouse. place the crate in the warehouse, and then use the trading and shipping terminal to complete the order. You can use the terminal then to accept new orders or even trade cargo to make some money, which you can use for truck and tool upgrades. So now I'm at the trading terminal. My cargo is in my truck, which is in the same room as the terminal in this big warehouse here. And now I can use the terminal. It tells me one piece of cargo has been accepted and that the following order has been completed. You can deliver cargo and not complete an order. It won't give you the order complete screen afterwards. This is the order I've completed. That crate was 97% condition, and so the reward that I'm given is 97% of the total, or $96.96 out of 100. From here, now I'm just using the terminal. I can buy cargo. They have some wood for sale. For shipping, we can see what orders are available. We have 5 orders here. On the shipping tab, we know where it's going. It's going to Fuji Ito at Tower Charlie, this particular order. On the manifest, we see that it has 2 items of cargo, 2 medium canisters. It has no time limit, a max reward of $606, and a total mass of 200 kilograms. I can also switch over to the map tab here and see where that delivery is going directly on the map. And this is useful when looking through orders, because now we can take orders that are going to similar places. You see we have orders here for Fuji Ito and Rachel James, but both of those are located at Tower Charlie, so it probably makes sense for me to take those 2 orders, as well as the first Fuji Ito order. This bulk food going to Ronnie Ahmad is a little out of the way compared to the other ones, so I won't be going there right now. I could take this industrial coolant. It is kind of on the way. However, with these 4 cargo items, these 2 cargo items, and then these 2 cargo items, we're probably going to have a pretty full truck, just the way it is now. So the way you confirm your transaction here, you want to back out of the menu, back, and now it asks me if I want to accept the transaction. From here I can accept all the changes I made. I could go and modify the order, or I can outright reject it, which will just undo everything that I've done in that menu. I'm going to accept it here. So now I have a bunch of cargo, all of which is going to Tower Charlie. There's a couple residents it's going to, but it's all going to the same building. So I'm going to load it up into the truck. The first thing I'm going to do is load up these big, heavy boxes. When you are loading stuff into the truck, you can manipulate it. You can rotate it in all 3 directions. You can manipulate it in physical space, obviously, just by looking around. And you can also pull and push it using the triggers. So you kind of have complete control over where you're going to put anything down. I'm just going to put this here. The art of loading your truck is where the real fun of the game comes from. There's no right answers. There's no wrong answers. You can absolutely load your truck poorly and damage everything. And you can do it smartly. You could load it in such a way as to prevent you from being able to turn or turn sharply or anything like that. None of what I'm carrying is particularly heavy, save for that one long box, which is the full 200 kilograms, which is actually the heaviest mass you can carry, which realistically a person isn't going to be lifting that, but whatever. It's fun. It's a video game. Now, we could tie some stuff down here, but I'm not going to do that. Let's see what it looks like without tying things down. You'll have to appreciate why you would want the ropes prior to just throwing them on. Oh, see, already I can't really turn because I got a real heavy amount of weight for this tiny truck that I got. So you got to take your turns slowly and methodically. You can't just take them at speed, otherwise you're going to spin out. This area is the going to be the most built-up area in Putter Island. This is going to be the city. That structure back there is actually the spaceport. That's how people get to and from this planet. And you know, there's the warehouse and a tower. Coming up on the right, above this ridge, is actually the Frybus. The Frybus is a place that you can go to get orders with a time limit. Time-limited orders can be delivered in a bunch of states. They can be early, they can be on time, or they can be late. Late orders obviously have a penalty. On-time orders, you get paid as you would expect. And early orders, you actually get paid a bonus. This is the Frybus. If you've been to Northern Ontario, you would know that these things are pretty ubiquitous. You know, getting some poutine, getting some fries. So I wanted to include that vibe here in the game. That mountain, if I were to look at the map, that mountain directly in front of me here is between me and Tower Charlie, which is our destination. If I wanted to, I could absolutely attempt to climb that mountain. There's nothing stopping me, and I know for a fact that this vehicle is capable of doing it. Now, whether that's a smart idea and whether your cargo is going to come out unscathed, that's a totally different question. But if you want to do it, that challenge is there for you. All of the sounds here are things that I've added quite recently. I'll admit I'm not much of a sound engineer, so if you got any tips, any ideas, let me know. We do have a day-night cycle going on here. We're just entering the night phase. A full day-night cycle takes 20 minutes in real time. I'm following the road here. I've built a series of switchbacks. Whoa, to help you get over the mountain. Still spun out. You don't need to follow the roads, and there aren't roads to get everywhere. But to get from the major settlements to the other major settlements, you can absolutely use the road, just like reality. But a lot of individuals live off the beaten path. Well, you've officially seen me drop this box enough times that it would probably be smart to tie it down. So let's do that. I'm going to put the box over a bunch of stuff and pull out my rope gun. If I open up my tool menu, you'll see we have some options. None, the rope gun, the muscle gun, and the vac blower. The muscle gun and vac blower I don't currently have, hence the red. You can buy them at the gear shop for $1,000 each, but I do have the rope gun. And it works by first shooting out a starting end. We'll start it, say, right here. And then from there, you can pull out a rope. The red indicates areas where you can't spawn the rope, but if all the segments are green, then you can spawn the rope. And now I have a rope holding those things down. You can also tie the rope directly to a piece of cargo. And so I can tie this box down to the box of the truck. And it's also going to help hold everything else underneath it in place. Now I can go at a bit faster of a speed without having to worry about that box flipping out on every single corner. So you can spin out, but not lose that box. Whoa. See, the road here ends. That's by design, so that you have to go over these this large sand dune section that I made, which is a lot of fun. It's easy to go fast, but it's also easy to wreck all your stuff by hitting a ridge incorrectly. You kind of have to ride the dunes in a similar way that a boat might ride the waves in order to reduce the impact on the boat. Alrighty, now we're out of the sand dunes and we are approaching Tower Charlie, which is where our goods are going. We've got some goods for 2 residents of the tower, Rachel James and Fuji Ito. So let's find them. Here's the tower on the left here. Now you can actually use your hover truck to drive up these tower blocks, which is a lot of fun. That's a vacant apartment. That's a vacant apartment. Whoa, don't overshoot it. Oh, can we make it? We made it. And here's Rachel James. Look at your ropes and use them to undo them. What's for James? This is for Fuji. That's for Fuji. That's for James. Here's the terminal. Bring the goods into the same room as the terminal. Four items. 4 pieces of cargo have been accepted for delivery. The following order has been completed. So the grocery order is complete. You can see that the condition of my packages are ranging from 90 to 97. And with that, we got paid $517 out of 553. And it took us 17 hours, 51 minutes. That's in-game time. If a day in-game is 20 minutes, we know we took just less than 20 minutes to get this order done. Now we can continue up the tower to find Fuji to deliver these items to. And there he is. Four pieces of cargo have been accepted for delivery, and the following 2 orders have been completed. We've completed that imported booze order. That's those 2 crates. We got paid handsomely for that. And the soft drink order, I guess Fuji wanted some mix for that booze. We also got paid handsomely for this. And now we've done 2 orders, or 3 orders, to the same building with 2 different residents. And now we have $2,000. From here, we can do a few things. We could go buy, say, a muscle gun at the gear shop, or we could buy some upgrades for the vehicle. I think turning thrusters for the vehicle are probably the first thing we should be buying. Also, you don't have to worry about the vehicle taking damage. If you do this, the vehicle's going to be all right. However, I just kind of screwed myself a little bit because the vehicle's now stuck flipped over. If I were to use a muscle gun, you could tie muscles to the side and pull the vehicle over, but I don't have that. I'm screwed. I have to emergency transport. To do that, I have to open up my map and find icons with this little blue arrow sub-icon. Like the auto shop here. I can emergency transport to the auto shop. I can emergency transport to Outpost Alpha, or any of the other outposts. So I'm going to fast travel to Outpost Charlie, which funnily enough is right there on the horizon, but I'm not able to get there without with my vehicle flipped over, so I'm going to have to emergency transport. It's going to cost me $500, and I'm going to lose all my cargo. Thankfully, I don't have any cargo, so it's just going to cost me the money. Now that I'm at Outpost Charlie, I could take on some more orders, or I can engage with, say, the trading system. If I were to open up my menu real quick and go to the trading tab and look at store inventories, I can actually see each store, see its stocks, and see the prices that it sells and buys things at. Outpost Alpha Warehouse will buy wood at $87.50. Outpost Bravo will also buy wood at $87.50. Meanwhile, Outpost Charlie will actually sell you wood at $50 a piece. The mining camp will actually buy wood at $100 a piece. So if I were to buy 5 pieces of wood from Outpost Charlie here, that would cost me $250. But I could sell them to the mining camp for $500. So that might be something that I'll do here. I'm going to buy 8 wood. In here in the buying menu, you'll notice that it'll actually tell you the stock at the store as well here. Now I've got a bunch of wood that I could load up into my truck and bring somewhere to sell. This box full of wood is probably not going to handle particularly well, just like that full box that I just had. You'll actually see the truck is sagging a little bit in the back left. That's from all of that mass. We really should probably upgrade this truck before hauling such loads. So we have this load of wood and we want to bring it to the mining camp. Now this isn't a traditional delivery, it is just a buyable good that I have carried in my truck box. So the mining camp isn't pinned to the map. I can choose to do that manually by selecting it on the map and choosing pin to map. Now you'll see that little pin sub icon on the top left hand corner of the icon. That tells me it's pinned to the map. If I were to zoom in, you could see that it stays pinned to the map, and it will be pinned to the mini map. Now I know where to go to bring that wood to sell it. Between me and the mining camp is a rather large mountain. I can sort of ride along the side of it here. You'll see the pathway in front of me that I'm about to take. But there are locations up that mountain, and so there are plenty of opportunities to drive right up the mountain if you so choose. Not really necessary for me right now, but the truck is capable of doing it. You know what? Let's do it. We might lose some cargo down the side of the mountain, but you know what? That's kind of what the game is all about. Do keep in mind that, you know, I've made this game, so I've got the most experience playing it and driving around. I might make certain things look easy that are significantly more challenging than they seem. With an upgraded turn thruster, this truck is going to be so much better. And so, as I said, while this truck is totally capable of climbing a mountain at the moment, it's not the most performant at doing so. But you know, an enterprising young person who just wants to give it their all can probably get just about anywhere if that's what they so choose. Yeah, the mountain's just forcing me to turn. I wasn't even trying to turn there. It's just the nature of an overloaded truck trying to climb a mountain. Hopefully we don't lose that piece of wood to the sea, but it's very possible. Where did it go now? See it just down there by the water's edge. It looks like it stopped. Now, if I were to go into the water with my vehicle or self, it would automatically emergency transport me. Oh, I might get too far. Yeah, I'm going to lose that piece. If I go too far into the water, it's going to emergency transport me back to the nearest location. So I've more or less lost that, unless... Now this might be an interesting Hail Mary here. Can I shoot it? I don't have enough rope. Nope, I've lost that piece. And so, as you can imagine, I spent $50 on that. You know, that's a loss of money. I'm not going to be able to sell that for money, so taking the risk driving up the mountain perhaps wasn't the best idea when I could have stayed down here. Now, I also could have tied the wood down, right? The whole time I could have put some ropes on top of it and prevented that. But I didn't, and well, you see what happened. Whoa! What happened there is my suspension bottomed out. I've got far too much load in the back, and that's what happens. If I bought the more, when I upgrade my floating thrusters, which are more or less analogous for suspension, then that wouldn't happen. That tutorial prompt that came up about lost cargo had to do with that one that we had lost in the water. You don't lose it right away, you lose it when you get a certain distance away from it. So I had to travel away for it to officially become lost according to the game. This wood doesn't have a like a health value, a condition value. Well, it does. It's just it's always at maximum condition, because things like wood and steel, sure, you can bang them around and you're not really going to damage them. But some goods, say the fruit, for instance, will be extra fragile. They're quite easy to break. If you get stuck in that death spiral, my recommendation, just stop. Now these trees are interesting. They're actually physics objects, so if you were to like drive into one, you see it bounce around there. You could also tug on it with ropes or with muscles. I had plans to add fruit to the tops of them that you had to sort of tug the trees down to get to. That's not in the game, but it very well could be added. There's a lot more that could be done once this delivery system is polished and well established. Whoa! Got to be careful while riding on terrain like this. One little bump at speed can throw all of your cargo out. Now we're approaching Outpost Bravo. We've seen Outpost Alpha and Outpost Charlie. These three locations are the main locations where you'll actually pick up orders in the game. They're all essentially coastally located, you know, very close to the shore. So most orders involve going up a mountain or whatever from one of these start locations. Holy moly, too much weight. But I'm not the type to take just one thing at a time. I'm gonna have to load up the truck as much as I can because that's me. I remember from looking at the mining camp store info that they'll take 5 pieces of wood, but I actually have 7 here, so I'm going to sell a couple. Yes, I still have 5. These are selling for $87.50. I bought them for $50. It's listed there on the screen, and so I'm making a profit of $37.50 per. Not bad. I can also see if they have any orders for the mining camp, and they do. Might as well take some extra cash while we're on the way. So in that transaction, I sold a couple of things, but also accepted a new order. You can do all that at once. The mining camp isn't far from here. If I were to open up my map, you could see. I just need to follow along the shoreline for a bit. The world itself, you'll probably notice, is a little sparsely populated. While there's trees and rocks in some locations, a lot of it is just like this. It's rather empty. That's the main thing that's going to be happening, bringing this from alpha to its complete release state. The gameplay systems are there, and they're more or less functioning completely, but just more variety needs to be added. There needs to be some more places to go. There needs to be some more cargo types. There needs to be some more orders. There needs to be some more truck upgrades and all of that business. But all of the core systems are there, and you can play it now if you're interested. We can see the mining camp on the horizon. It's about 2/3 of the way up that mountain ahead of us. Now, this mining camp is a lot like Tower Charlie, which we were at earlier, in that there are multiple places. It's not just the mining camp. We have administration here on the left, Brenda Richter here, and then the trading tent. These are addressed to Brenda Richter, so we'll bring them to her directly. Note about Brenda here, she's using some of the new character models that I've made. You'll notice they're not particularly more advanced than they used to be, but they're a lot smoother. There's a lot more roundedness overall to all of the parts. And this is a modular system, so we could swap those pants for a different pair of pants or shorts or whatever, or swap this top, also the head. They're sort of 3 separate parts that we can swap out, as well as the different materials. There's materials for clothes, skin, and faces, all of which are customizable. 2 pieces have been accepted for delivery. The following order has been complete. That's that bulk food for Brenda Richter. And now we have these 5 logs, which I can actually sell to the mining camp here in the trading tent. So I bought these each for $50, selling them each for $100, so I made $250 profit. Now I could buy some units of steel, which will really bog down my truck, and I could buy 4 of them, but then I would have to sell them prior to being able to upgrade my vehicle. I want to go and upgrade the truck right now, so let's just go and do that. This section here is emblematic of how I would like the rest of the game to look. There's going to be a lot more obstacles in most areas. There aren't going to be so many straightaways without an obstacle in front of you. So here we are at the auto shop. This is where we can go to upgrade our truck. Use the terminal here. And now we have the auto shop menu. From here you can upgrade your truck or change its aesthetics. On the upgrade page we have lengths, main thrusters, hover thrusters, and steering thrusters. The length is pretty much what you would expect. You can actually make the truck significantly longer. Notice how it sags as you do so. That's because you need to upgrade your thrusters, your hover thrusters, in order to compensate for the heavier vehicle. Right now, I am going to upgrade the steering thrusters. I can buy this TT50 Turbo, which will dramatically increase my turning ability. We will have fewer of those spin outs that you saw with the fully loaded truck. I still have $600. From here I can change some aesthetics. I can change the cab. We have a few different shapes for the cab. This one here is, you know, sort of the hero cab for the game. This is sort of the truck that will be on all of the advertisements, but you can change it to a different look if you want. We've got some more modern looking ones, boxy looking ones. Let's go for, I'm not sure I like boxy, let's go for sport. We have the sport hood. We can change colors as well. I don't have cash to buy either of the nice ones. I'm not really looking for hot pink. We can also change the trim color. You can go from stainless steel to chrome, carbon steel, matte black. There's obviously room for a lot more variety here. What we have is more or less just a proof of concept. Now, I have a truck that has upgraded turning and looks a little cooler. Anyway, there's a lot more to the game. If you're interested in playing it, you want to play test it, send me an email. I'll include that information in the description. And it's going to be on sale hopefully soon enough. I got to get it on Steam. I got to figure out all that business baloney, figure out how to, you know, have a business name and bank account and pay taxes and all of that fun, thrilling stuff. But it's got to get done. Someone's got to get paid. So anyway, thanks for checking it out. I hope you play it. I hope you like it. Share it with your friends. Anyway, thanks a lot.